Hello, Amy and Bella here. We're excited to bring you another episode of ABDL Q&A. Being ABDL or having any non-mainstream kink can feel really lonely. We want to feel understood and accepted and share these amazing experiences with others, but there is a ton of fear around being judged and rejected. We have another video about how to introduce your kink to your partner. That link is in the description below. But what about other people who you aren't romantically involved with? Who should you tell about this kink and when should you keep it a secret? We'll answer all of your questions here. And make sure you listen to the second half about sharing your kink with people you already know. Before we dive in, be sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our future videos like this one. Who should you tell about your kink? There are two main questions to ask yourself, and they both relate to each other. You can't answer one without the other. The first question to ask yourself is, why do you want to tell this person? The second question is whether or not they want to know about your kink. If you can answer both of these questions honestly, and it still makes sense to share this side of you with that person, then you can figure out how to tell them. Even if they are not a romantic partner, you can reference the video we have already made about how to share your kink with your partner. The methods are still the same. Let's explore the first question. Why do you want them to know? Maybe you want to share this experience with other like-minded people. It can feel really lonely, having a kink that is not widely accepted. It is often made fun of in mainstream media, and that can make it feel very difficult to open up about it. There are safe places where you can find like-minded people who will not judge you for having these interests. But first, let's explore why you would want to share this side of you with someone else. You might want someone to talk to so you can feel a connection with someone who also enjoys this kink. You can connect with someone you already know, or meet someone new. Let's talk about meeting new people first. There are many ways to connect with people to achieve this outside of your current social circle. There are subreddits and message boards, and many online communities where you can connect with others around the world who share the same interest. You can begin by sharing your stories and experiences and asking questions and connecting with others in text posts. Then, you can possibly connect with people who have responded to your messages and have private chats to build deeper connections. That might lead to phone calls or video chats, or meeting in person once you have built trust and have established that you both are interested in meeting outside of this text conversation. Something to keep in mind. This is no different than building relationships with people in any other context. Some people only want to connect with others in the message board, and they don't want to chat privately. Some people are okay with chatting privately, but they don't want to talk on the phone or video chat. Some people are okay with phone calls and video chats, but they don't want to meet in person. It is important to respect their boundaries and to maintain yours as well. If you are curious about sharing this with your friends, your family, or anyone else, make sure you keep listening, because we're going to give you suggestions on how to do that after this next section on meeting face-to-face. You can also meet others face-to-face by joining local groups focused on mutual interests. There are websites like fetlife.com where you can find events called munches, where people get together who share these common interests. Some of these events are for exploring these interests, and some are for meeting in vanilla environments to just connect with others who share your kink. Maybe you would all meet in a coffee shop or at a park for a picnic to connect and make friends. The conversations may or may not involve your kink, and that's okay. This is all about making connections with other humans. Just as you would not walk up to a stranger on the street and tell them about your sexual desires, you will go to these munches and build a real connection before discussing more intimate details about yourselves. Just because someone goes to an event for kinky people does not mean they want to talk about your kink right away. Showing up to an event and immediately discussing intimate details will push others away, and you will not be invited back to these events. Go with the intention of making friends first, and then you can open up to each other about these intimate desires. Another reason to share this side of yourself with others is to find a partner to share the experiences with. This might be a romantic partner or a platonic partner to explore these activities in a non-sexual way. As we've already talked about, it's important to make sure both you and the other person have the same goals and intentions. Sending private messages in online communities, asking people to do kinky things with you, can be a huge violation of consent. Whether you are chatting online or meeting at in-person events, your first goal should be to build a connection first and find out what the other person is hoping to get out of this experience. Once you know that you have the same goals and that you are open to exploring your kink together, then you can talk about ways to do that. Do not message someone you have never met or spoken with and ask them to be your mommy or daddy or to change your diapers. It is disrespectful and rude. Once again, connect with them as a whole person first. And then once you have both decided it's okay, you can talk about your kink. We have found that it is far more effective to find a partner by building a connection with someone based on your values and life goals first, and then opening up about your kinky desires once you have a real relationship built. This relationship is far more likely to succeed when it is based on values and life goals compared to a relationship based on a sexual desire. When you find the right person and you can communicate openly and respect each other's boundaries, they will be much more likely to want to participate in exploring this side of yourself. The right person who you have already connected with will not judge you or shame you for your interests. The relationship needs to be built on trust, respect, and boundaries. If you desire the humiliation that can come from having accidents, being in diapers, or other aspects of this kink, the same rules apply. Make a connection with a consenting adult first, and then explore this aspect of your kink. It is never okay to expose your kink to strangers just to get their reaction. Now let's talk about sharing this side of yourself with someone you already know. We see posts all the time asking about sharing their love for diapers and age regression with their friends, family, or co-workers. Oftentimes they have heard this person mention something that indicates they may have an interest in ABDL. Keep in mind that this kink is not something that people generally share openly in casual conversations. Just because somebody mentions using the toilet or uses a common phrase like laughing so hard they almost peed their pants does not mean they are interested in your kink. Some people also choose to be open about their kink online and share photos or videos of themselves. We'll cover that in just a minute. When we consider sharing this side of ourselves with someone, we go back to the two questions we mentioned at the beginning of this video. The first is, why do we want to tell them? And we have already discussed that. The second is asking if they want to know about our kink. This question is very, very important and often overlooked. We tend to get in our own heads and worry about our own desires without considering someone else's desires or feelings. You can really hurt someone and leave them feeling lied to and violated by changing the dynamic of your relationship without their consent. It's the same as pretending to be someone's friend, hoping that they will develop romantic feelings for you rather than just being open about your feelings from the beginning and letting them make that decision. No one wants to find out that someone they believed was their friend secretly had an agenda the entire time. If there is someone you want to open up to about your kink, it should be someone you already have conversations with about sexual topics. If you do not already openly talk about intimate details, then coming out with your sexual kink is not going to be well received. It will most likely leave them feeling violated, and it could significantly damage your relationship. The last thing to consider is publicly engaging in this kink online, where someone might recognize you. There are many content creators out there who share photos or videos of themselves, or people who use their real names when engaging on YouTube or adult content sites. When you are easily recognized online in this context, you might be seen by someone you know. This could encourage them to reach out to you, and you might have a new person to share this side of yourself with. It also could produce some very negative consequences if someone recognizes you who does not have your best interests in mind. If you don't have anyone in your life currently who you can speak openly about these topics, that's okay. Now you know where to find them and how to make new connections. You have so many exciting new friendships to make now. Have you ever opened up to someone about your kink? How did it go? Tell us in the comments below. And if you have other topics you'd like us to cover, please let us know. We'd love to help out however we can. Goodbye for now.